All right. So right now, if somebody's listening to you and someone's sitting there saying my life is whatever, I mean, they could have a great life, but they want it better, or it's not great. They want it better. How can they make next year an amazing year?
Stop accepting the bullshit that you don't want that made your life either had a bad year, or stop. I would say stop saying what you could have done or what you should do and just fucking do it. That's even if that's a relationship you're in, right? That's just not serving you anything. Fucking get the fuck out of it. Same thing with a job. It ain't serving you no more. Get the fuck out of it. Once your light starts to dwindle, it's time to fucking leave.
Yeah. And if like you like that advice and you think it's great, because it is, like, those are some things, man, you got to really understand. Your life may not be where it wants to be, but it can be with a little bit of time. You might be surprised what you can do in 6 months, a year, 10 years. Shit, where I'm at right now versus 10 years ago, night and day, because it was a compound effect within 2 to 3 years, actually, because we just started one little thing. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I love that. And that just goes along with what I was about to say about fear, right? And we all have this type of fear of like getting something started or just failing or something just not going right, you know? But that is the risk you fucking take for fucking greatness, right? You will not get to greatness being complacent. I say this all the time. Complacency is for people who stop fucking dreaming and who are done with just, in my opinion, just life in general and just wants to coast it through. You know what? No more, no less. You're good where you are, and you're just riding this fucking line. So if you want more than that, you're going to have to stick your foot in the water. And sometimes the water looks like a glass road, or sometimes it's just fucking water, and you're going to have to hold yourself up.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah. And I would tell somebody, man, these are kind of a list I go for the stock market, but I think it'll be applied for your life as something you can do. And that is to make sure you have proper preparation, right? Make sure you work hard, make sure you have patience, and have a detailed plan of what you want your vision or your life to be. To be disciplined, right? That does help. Delay gratification, impulse control, sharing what you've learned with others. I think once you start sharing with other people, man, they give you so much back and you give back too.
Yeah.
And then last, importantly, just whatever you're doing well, redo that again and again. Rinse, wash, and repeat.
Yeah. I just say for me, it would just be gratitude. Be happy, be happy for every position that you're in. Be happy for the bad ones, be happy for the good ones, be happy for people that are doing better than you. Right? Be happy, just be a good human being, right? And operate on that high frequency, and you will be rewarded 10 times fold. Right? Yeah. It may not be your time now, but again, the consistency, if you have the consistency, it will pay off at the end, right? And instant gratification just needs to be forgotten about. It's not how this shit rolls. Instant gratification, instant fail, because then you won't know how to handle the, I would say, the success, because you don't even know how the bullshit feels, you know? So, and then you need to balance it out. So that's what I have.
What do you think about consistency? Do you think you're born with that, or do you think that's just something that over time just gets stronger and stronger with you?
I think consistency and work ethic goes hand in hand, right? Having good work ethic will make you be consistent, but I think there's sloppy consistency too, right? So you have to also be, I would say, prideful of your craft with the consistency of what you're putting out. You know, just don't pull out bullshit. We all know, like, for me, I'm just a fucking perfectionist, right? So I want everything to be extremely good. But I had to learn that sometimes you're not always going to have something as good as something else or as good as you want it to, but it's still good. You know what I mean? And for me, for somebody like me, that was really hard to accept. But also, if I stay in this perfectionist place, I won't get anywhere. You know what I mean? I'll just be sitting in this. I could have moved on a long time ago, but I'm stuck here looking at a color that nobody else sees but me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, that's the big difference between you and myself, because you're like, you want it done a certain way. I'm like, fuck it, we'll just keep going forward. And
Mm-hmm.
you and I work together, and sometimes like my mentality is like, nah, we'll figure it out. And yours like, hey, like you want a little bit more like aesthetically pleasing. And that's something that I have to learn sometimes too. And sitting there saying, hey man, you can still have the same momentum if you just slow down and fix a little one thing here and there too. You can still get the momentum you're going. Like slowing down a little bit, not going to destroy your momentum. So there's that, right, where you sit there and you just look at something and you want it to be this way, analysis paralysis. That's one personality type. My personality type's like, if I feel a little bit of like any kind of slow drag or any kind of like that, I feel like I'm losing momentum, and I get things accomplished because I just hit it. Is it the best I could do? I'm like, nope, but I will learn and I would redo it again and we'll go. And again, like I think what you're talking about too is you can always learn, you can always grow, and you can either slow down or speed up a little bit, and you can still find you're still going to hit it. You just got to like just learn a little bit more.
Dude, yeah, honestly, it just comes with age. And it's been doing this. I can't believe I've been doing this for almost 20 years. You know, it's just fucking nuts to me. But these are the things that I've learned, you know, of just slowing down and doing things. I just know, I used to be like, boom, 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 but I would miss shit that I shouldn't have missed. Yeah. Right. Or, you know, or just, I'm like, man, that was over. I wish I'd have just paid attention a little bit more. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Just things that you just learn as you just get older, and you just do business, you know?
Yeah. And I think those are good lessons to learn, because, you know, we got a lot of people that are younger and listening. Hey, man, you got time. You really got time. And a lot of this stuff does take time to get better. You're not going to be shit hot tomorrow. Maybe not even next year. Maybe nobody even knows who you are next year. But when you look at the grand scheme of where you're at, 20 years, you know, and especially when it comes to the fitness industry, this motherfucker, real quick about you, and this is something normal. Like we're talking about, you know, I checked in with you and you're like, hey, deload for 2 weeks. And I was like, how? And the first thing I told him, I was like, how do you know I was tired? I'm fucking tired. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I'm working, I'm still putting in effort, but it's like, I come out of the gym, I'm like, man, that was brutal. And then this dude's over here sitting there saying, take some time off, rest. I rest, man. The first week from the gym, I felt great. I come out of the gym like, man, I feel like I just had an energy drink. Mm-hmm. I just took a little bit easy, do those things. And that's what I'm talking about, where you start finding your craft, where it's a craft he has with fitness, but it's also a craft with real estate. It's a craft where you can take what you learn from here and apply it to different dimensions.
Oh, yeah, man, definitely. I would say this, the more that's been leaking in the most is real estate into anything. Like fitness already done leaked into all of my life, you know, but now it's just being this real estate person, you know what I mean? It's just doing this real estate shit. It's a different beast. That's all I'm saying.
No. Well, I think with that one, man, with a lot of good information they got, hopefully they can make next year an amazing year. But more importantly, they don't have to wait till next year to start. They can start right now, and next year will be guaranteed to be better. I would think so.
I would say look at it like high school. For all you young people are out of high school, right? And now you're realizing that, like, fucking, let's say if you're a year or two out of high school, just think how fast that shit went. That shit went. I bet you're like, damn, I was just in high school like last year or 2 years ago, right? And honestly, it goes just like that. Once you start something, you're going to be like, damn, I was just thinking about this 2 years ago. But guess what? You're a year ahead than where you were last year. You know what I mean? So you're already progressing. You're already thinking. Your shit's already turning. So just don't wait or even don't even tell people what you're doing. We already talked about that. Just moving in silence. Don't tell people what you're doing. Just fucking do it.
Nope. Because when you do that, when you put your head down, you work on it. You're not worried about what's going on around you. You're not worried about how close you are to your goal. You're not worried about who's doing better, who's doing worse. If you're just solely focused on your goal and your vision, and you're relentless in your pursuit and every day of perfecting that one thing you're doing, you'll be surprised when you look up and people say, how do you do it? That's how you did it. It's just nothing. It's boring. It's old and boring, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and people look at me with fitness. They're like, man, how the fuck you been doing this for so long? Or I make it look so easy. This fly's getting on my nerves. But it's because I've been doing it for so fucking long. You know what I mean? That it's just like second nature for me. You know, the sense everything around me, or just, you know, make things look the way it is. But, you know, but again, we live in this instant gratification place. We have the cell phone. We want instant fucking this, instant that, but it just doesn't come like that, you know? So.
Well, bet, man, that was some good stuff, man. Until next time, brother.
All right, bro.